guys, welcome back to the Claws After Show. Zaddy was a Rolling Stone. We have your daddy issues, lover quarrels, and we have a special guest. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Yes. You have to be lit today.
Yeah.
You guys, you have to get pumped up. If you're watching us, if you're listening to us, get pumped up because we have the one and only Evan in the studio today. How are you doing today?
Good, how are y'all?
Hey!
Evan,
So we have
Toby
here. Quote unquote Toby here. So so we have a special guest today. But before we get into our topics, I want to introduce myself. So I'm Sierra Stafford. To the left of me, I have Adaeze.
Hi guys.
And I'm Angel Saunders. Hey guys, it's Tyra.
Yeah, so we have a full panel. So we're going to get straight into this because we have a lot to uncover today. And we're so happy that Toby's with us today. So first off, we have our daddy issues. So first off, I want to ask you first, Toby. There's a lot of daddy issues that going on in this episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So starting off, so we see that we have Desna, and then we have her dad, and what's going on with that situation. So I know that can kind of be a touchy subject for our audience because some people really go through that type of thing. But starting off, what do you think? Okay, in the beginning, we didn't think their relationship was genuine. So how you watching them? How do you feel like that was for them, like him coming back in their life and that whole scene?
I thought it was really interesting to see their dad be introduced into the story because throughout the first two seasons you really get a lot of backstory about how much it affected them emotionally, especially Dean, the dynamic of Desna having to raise Dean after their parents walked out on him. So whenever I started reading those scripts with the dad, I thought it was really interesting to read, and I was really excited to see how the actors brought it to life on camera. I thought that Niecey just really killed those scenes. She really hit that that anyone who's gone through something like that can really see that in her performance. And so I thought they nailed it. I thought that it was really interesting. I'm excited to see where their relationship evolves into the rest of the season.
Okay,
Yeah, same.
So what about you, Angel? Do you think the relationship is genuine, that daddy's back in their life and he's going hard for them?
I think so, because I think that any real man, if you have kids, you're going to want to be a part of their lives, no matter how late it is. Of course, Desna and Dean, they're both grown now. We see they're both in relationships. They're both, doing their own thing. But you're always going to be your kid's baby. You're always going to be your kid's children, your parents' children. You can't be your kid's baby. That's not possible. Yeah, you're always going to be your parents' children. So, I mean, it's never too late, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay, so after we kind of got to get more of, the dad, his name is Calvin, by the way, so we see that he's actually an architect. So, he went from being this past drug addict to now he's an architect, so he has money now. So it's not like that he needs them or he's looking for something. So for you, Tyra, do you think that was different? I wasn't expecting this whole architect storyline, and then we see that he's trying. So do you think it's going to be something later that ties into that, or he's just genuinely okay, I want you guys to be a part of my business maybe? What could it lead to?
No, I mean, I think it's genuine. I think, his job title doesn't have anything to do with the relationship that he's trying to build with them. I mean, as you get older, I would think, it's time to let those demons of the past go and move forward in life. And just now that he has gotten the realization of what he put them through and how Desna pretty much had to raise them and just all the trauma that they went through, I think he sees that now and he's just like, okay, it's time for me to rekindle this relationship, which is why, after the whole incident happened of his drug attack, I feel like that's why he felt the need to come back to the nail salon and say, I promise you this is not it, because he's just ready to make that change and it's needed. So I'm here for Calvin.
Hey, Adaeze, we know you got some for Calvin. What you got for him?
You know what? I was a little bit taken aback with how he reacted to Desna. I understand that it was a shock. He would never even think that Desna would walk up on him at the job. I just didn't think that he handled it properly. I get the shock, but that's your daughter. I was expecting him to break down and being like, okay, not right now. But he was just like, if you don't get up on my face, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
But just to see him make a genuine effort, he showed up at the shop. And you know what I did like? I don't know if y'all picked up the fact that Dean drew, and he's an architect. Architects are very good designers and drawers as well. So
that's a good little.
She always got the gym.
Okay.
I remember seeing that when they were in a casino, and Dean said he used to draw. And
houses
like
at
sometimes it's like no matter how long you've gone without talking to a person, if you're related, then you pass
got some
along those
traits.
traits.
100%.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. They hadn't seen each other in forever, and he's
Right.
still like,
And
I
they didn't
enjoy
even
drawing.
know that he was that.
That he was
Yeah.
clean.
So that was
Yeah.
like a good little come around little connection that they had. So I'm proud of Calvin.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it looks like we're all on the Calvin team here. So we're going to see how that continues to go on. But one daddy issue that's not so hot, or daddy issue I should say, is the fact that Mac is trying to hold Dean hostage. So, I mean, I don't know what's up with this, but I don't know if you can tell us more about this. I don't know, but like...
Well, what I
I'll
can
give
say
it all.
without giving too much away is that Mac and Melba will continue to reveal themselves to be some of the strangest characters that I've ever seen on TV. Their dynamic with each other, and also the dynamic that they have with the characters of the show starts to get even weirder and weirder. I can't give away too much about what happens with Mac and Dean, but... Yeah, it's not cute. in my
So,
opinion.
oh goodness. So when we started watching the episode, you know, Mac gives, you know, they're into the mahjong game. So he gives Dean like a piece art for him saying, you know, this is my great-great-grandfather's game. I'm handing it off to you. And then we see how Melba's like, you know, you're kind of getting too close to him. I mean, we're done using him for Desna, so what is going on? But we kind of see like towards the end, tying it back to Calvin, that Mac goes to pay Calvin to stay away. So... That's just a lot on its own. So, for starting with you, Angel, do you feel like, well, obviously we don't know if he took it or not yet, but do you think what he said in that moment to him, or do you think it's going to be something that backfires according to that?
I don't know, because Dean is just such a likable character. I mean, clearly Virginia fell for him, and I think Virginia's feelings are genuine.
I
Mac,
do think they're genuine now, guys. Last episode, I didn't have faith in it.
I think they're genuine. Mac is really taking a liking to Dean. I mean, Calvin is his dad, so I think he wants his best interest at heart. I think everybody is Team Dean, and Dean, I think, might be his own worst enemy, because everybody, for real, they like Dean. But
You
Dean,
think Mac is genuine?
I think maybe he might have wanted a son. Mac and Melba, as far as we know, don't have kids, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they
I don't
are
think
shady.
that we know that they have any kids.
Right, so
Yeah.
they may not have kids, and
Okay.
yes, they may be shady, but a shady person. I mean, Scar had kids on The Lion King.
Not Scar.
So, you know.
That's Scar.
Adaeze, what you feel about this?
You know, during the taping, remember I was saying, oh, I think Mac is really genuine. He really likes Dean. And then as I'm like talking about you said how weird their dynamic is with all the characters, I realized like I don't know if Mac really likes Dean or if he's just obsessive. Like Mac and Melba, they obsess over each other. Mac and Melba obsess over Desna.
With controlling everyone in their lives.
And
like
it just
that.
seems like, you know, we learned, of course, that they were just going to use Dean for bait first and to get to Desna. And then now that they don't need it, Mac still is attached to Dean. And these are supposed to be like masterminds. Like they're supposed to be able to cut things off and go. Yet he's having this relationship with Dean when he really shouldn't. So I just think he's obsessed with him. Like
I think he just likes him.
So so we don't think there's a motive, because I mean, to go pay their dad to stay away, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
That's a bit.
That's
okay.
what
It might be
obsessive.
influenced by Melba, but I think
Yeah.
overall, you can like Dean.
He don't even know Dean like that. Like, why go pay his dad off? I think it's a clear obsessive. Like, he said that I want Dean to myself. Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't
And the
know.
way he said that too was like childlike,
Yeah,
like it's
it
my
was.
toy
That's
and
right.
I don't want
Yeah.
anyone else to play with it.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Maybe-
weird enough, so.
Yeah. And then isn't Melba upset too? Like, isn't she kind of jealous of this, or
I think that
going
maybe
with
Melba
it?
is jealous of Mac wanting Dean's attention so
Yeah,
much.
and it's like, I'm your wife, or whatever, you know.
Whatever they are. Are they
I'm like,
married?
right, I'm like, are they
Like,
married? I don't
I
want to
think
say
they are.
anything
I
wrong.
just
think they are.
cannot get over like their naked paintings of each other
Oh,
holding.
yes.
They're life partners. Like,
The art department on our show loves doing all of those like creepy stuff, because we had those. I don't know if y'all remember those like naked Jesus paintings that came to life in the first season. Our art department is really talented because they get to do weird stuff like that.
I bet they're just laughing the whole
Oh
time.
God, yeah.
Speaking of their shenanigans, can you please clarify for the audience? Because we always say, what is she inhaling? What is she inhaling in that mess?
Okay, so I don't know exactly what drug that it is, but it's some kind of drug that she's not prescribed to.
Okay. But it makes more sense because she just hits it and I don't know.
It's always so random.
But it's so smart because like people would really think that she has a condition when really she just getting lit through it.
Yeah,
We could start, right?
No, and if you notice, Max says to her in this episode, like, "Oh, you've been hitting it a lot today," and she's like,
So maybe she's like anxious or something.
Yeah. I feel like
Keeps her
police
down.
would never stop somebody on the street and be like, "Let me check your
No.
oxygen
They
mask."
wouldn't. So it's smart.
Oh my goodness. Well, what we do or anxious about is our love for you guys. So Adaeze is going to share with us how much we love you.
Yep, so before we get to our next topic, we just want to thank you so much for always tuning in with AfterBuzz and making us the ESPN of TV talk. If you're tuning in on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe and let us know how we're doing and how you feel about the episode. If you're on iTunes, leave us 5 stars and let us know that we're doing a great job. We really appreciate your support every single week. We love to hear what you think about the episode, so keep tuning in.
Yes, keep tuning in on Spotify, iTunes, everything. We love it. And also keep coming in because we do love to read those from you guys.
Yes.
So next topic, we have our lovers' quarrels. So we had a lot of, like every episode, we have a lot of love, relationship kind of love, hate problems, this, that, and the third. So I want to start off, but before I nitpick, who would you say is the ideal, and you can't say yourself, I'm just kidding, but who would you say is the ideal relationship on the show?
"Oh my gosh." Honestly, I really love Dean and Virginia's relationship because I do think that it's genuine. I think that it's really awesome to see a character who is on the autism spectrum have like a really genuine, like realized relationship on TV. I think that it's really cool to watch, and I think that Carucci and Harold Perrineau just do so well with each other.
They do. It's
Their
good
chemistry is
chemistry.
great.
Yeah. And then that's a good point, like with him having the autism, because it's kind of like you wouldn't expect him to just be able to focus, like you know how he is in tune with Virginia.
Right.
So
Yeah. They're not usually, those characters aren't usually given the opportunity to express a sexuality, like a sexual aspect to their personality. And just because that you struggle with whatever doesn't mean that you don't have a sexual aspect to your personality as well. So
I love that.
I didn't, but that's beautiful because I just love when shows give people who don't necessarily have a voice a voice, and that's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Because because they have to have love too, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I also think that it takes an actor at Harold Perrineau's talent level to pull this off. Also,
and it's amazing.
Has he been nominated?
No, seriously.
not for this.
No, but he needs to.
I literally said our other episode, I was like, this guy does everything. Like, how did you
he's
kill
phenomenal.
this character and you probably never, like, Do you have a relative? Like, how did you, I don't know.
You know, it must be
Television
really...
Academy, get with Harold Perrineau on
Yes.
Claws. Let's do it.
I second that motion.
Because he's hilarious. Even when like he's doing the TMI that he does sometimes, and like Desmond's like, all right, I don't want to hear this. But
Me and Virginia are gonna go have sex.
yeah,
That's what she means. We're having sex.
yeah.
Okay.
He represents for those that don't have a voice, but he also brings that comedic relief, and he
That's what
puts
it
like
is.
people in check all the time.
Yeah.
So,
100%. You need that bluntness sometimes.
Yeah.
Everyone talks around stuff.
one of my favorite things is last season when they were having dinner with what's the doctor who got killed? No, who Desna was talking to.
Dr. Raval.
Raval.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Desna asked the mom a question, and she ignored Desna, and Dean was like, she didn't ask you. I think she's on the spectrum.
My
Like,
favorite
I
Dean
love
moment
that.
was, what did he just say this episode when he was like, I'm not on crack. I can stop when I want to.
Yeah, no, he was trying to slug the daddy with that one.
He's on in there then, okay.
But I think that's what makes Dean Dean, you know? Like,
Absolutely.
But it's kind of like, too, his ways can kind of get us like, dang, Dean, like, you need to relax and listen. So
That's
love
why I
Dean.
said I
We
think
just
he's
call
gonna
him-
be his own worst enemy because everyone loves him, but he like have his outbursts.
Yeah, and he's so smart and he has so much common sense from clearly he's always like, Desna, you're always getting yourself in these crazy situations. But now it's like he's not realizing he's getting himself in a crazy situation.
But that's why Desna's always worried about him because it's hard for him to work himself back down to a calmer mood whenever he gets worked up.
And speaking of Dean and Virginia,
I was going to say it.
I was gonna say that we didn't see EJ this episode, but we saw that Virginia was really trying. She's like, "Come home, Dean." So I'm just like, in the beginning, I was like, "All right, now you have the pass to cheat."
We literally said that.
All right, because he's getting on
You
my
never
nerves.
have a pass to cheat.
Okay, it's not like he's cheating. She knows what he's doing. He's in a freaking conceit.
Cheat on him, girl, because he's not paying attention.
I was gonna ask that. Like, so do you think this is gonna be a breakup for them, or you think it's not that deep too soon, or we're predicting too far?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm trying to get all the tea out.
Right.
You know, we saw her crying at the end when she was just like, you know, don't leave me. She was blowing her bubble gum.
I don't know.
No, she didn't fight enough for me. And
I will
think
say
this is setting
EJ
her
is
up.
throwing a wrench into things for sure.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
And next
thought he was
episode,
kinda shady.
we'll see some more of that.
Yes, I like it.
I think this episode was just setting the stone for that. Like, we saw last episode how we were like, okay, it's something going on with, well, not Karuchi, Virginia and EJ. I always say the real names. So I think this episode was just like that foundation set. Like, she tried to fight for Dean and he's just not going for it. So boom, I'm gonna go get my man EJ to make him jealous, and then we'll bring it all back together.
Well, there you have it, folks. We have
Episode 6,
right? So another relationship that we do love, I have to say, is Desna and Roller. You know, we love us some Roller.
We definitely love Roller.
I'm a Roller fan.
See how we all just lush. So we love us some Roller. So Roller's kind of, you know, he's trying to step into like his big boy pants. He kind of told Desna, like, I want to move in with you. Like, let's be serious. Is he serious though? I mean, I kind of have to agree with Desna. I need somebody that's secure with me. You know, I have a lot going on.
Yeah.
You can't be on this little boy train and all this. So I mean, I'm kind of fighting it too.
I don't know. I thought it was cool to see him step up this season because he's just so immature in the past. You know, to see him put forth any kind of effort is cool. But I also think it's true what you said. Desna is such a secure person that she needs a man who is not trying to play games with her.
Yeah.
Is like probably has more money than she does. You know what I mean? So.
Right. Because I mean, because she kind of does look out for him in a way. I feel because you know he kind of works for her sometimes. So, but I mean, are you guys here? I know we love Roller. I know, but are you guys here for you think he's ready for Desna at the moment? Adaeze, you look like you got it.
I don't know if I think he's ready because every episode we see him stepping up little by little. First, you know, he changes his outfit. You know, he got a 3-piece suit on, and he's asking to move in. He was domesticating a little bit. All we have to do is find out if he uses lorries. I think that's her thing. Does he season his food?
But no, that is important.
Does he season his food? We gotta know if he seasons. I think he can move in.
Okay.
That's too funny.
Okay, Angel, what about you?
I think that he's been trying to step up. He got Polly's help. That was hilarious. That whole scene when Polly was trying to help him get it together.
Oh, I love that. That was so
Yeah,
good.
like
my
he's
God.
really been working towards it. But Desna just seems like she is just like go go go. I got things to accomplish. I don't have time for this. Like I don't think she doubts that they can be together because clearly they had a connection before. I think she's just like, look, I got priorities and I don't have the time.
Okay, what about you, Tyra?
So I'm gonna have to be the devil's advocate, clearly. I think he can be genuine, but we have to think about it. Roller is in a low place. Well, he's coming out of it, but he's been through so much. You know, he was kidnapped, all of that crazy stuff happened. Then when he came back, we saw that he kind of lost his spot in the whole like family business. So I think right now Roller is really kind of just trying to find his way, and it's like Desna has been that person to help him get out of all of these sticky situations. So he's like, okay, this is my woman, like she loves me. But I feel like once he gets a little bit more power, he's gonna just go right back to old Roller, and it's just gonna be a mess.
You think so?
I don't know. I just have
I mean,
gut
based on
feeling.
past behavior, that's not an unfair
I'm
thing.
gonna
You
say
know?
on it, but I think I agree because when he was like, I think the moving in was a bit much for me. I can see like be my boyfriend official, but moving in, it's like, why are you so pressed to
Take
move in
it
my
slow.
space?
She got a big house.
Like, I hope
Because she got a big house.
Yeah, maybe so.
He's not a gold digger, but it's kind of giving me that gold digger vibe. Like, I want this lifestyle with you.
Yeah.
So is that the Roller gonna? Okay,
I
I'm
mean,
not
she
gonna
tried
answer
to kill him. They tried to
kill each other.
But he went through her through so much. I don't know. Like y'all know I'm team Desna and Roller. Like I want it to happen, but just thinking about his past and what he's been through, I don't know yet. We need to see when he gets a little bit more power back, or when he finally gets back in tune with himself to see, okay, he's serious about him and Desna.
Yeah, like what has he done besides talk and get a 3-piece suit?
You know what? Listen, I'm usually
And we're like, yes, Roller, baby, please.
Listen, I'm usually like, don't take him back. I'm anti-man. But listen, Desna is messy. And Desna has her own fair share of stuff that she has brought to this table. I mean, so can she really... I know she's guarded because of the... What's his name?
Ruval
and stuff like that. I understand that. But girl, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys were having sex in your office
truck.
first season.
And
Remember?
Honestly,
everywhere in a
I
swamp.
think she's just enjoying that, like, that cat and mouse. She's just enjoying, like, he want me, like,
Yeah.
he all up on me. So she just gonna keep it going, and like, of course, to see if he's genuine, but also to just because she's big headed right now. I'm getting everything that I want.
Honestly, I think he keeps her balanced. Would you guys agree? Like,
I mean, who else gonna go through that with her?
saying.
Like,
Exactly.
they've done
They've been through a lot
things
together.
that
for
a
sure.
lot of
Thank
regular
you.
guys, she can't go on Tinder and find
Jessica,
it.
She can go ahead.
In Palmetto, Florida, I don't know.
Thank you. So Desna, please.
So what relationship that we did see get a little rocky is Uncle Daddy. You know, he's kind of befriending Miss Brenda over here. So so if you know that so Miss Brenda, she is Jennifer's mom, and so she's back in the rehab, but of course Jen was like, if Bryce do not be around her, and so Uncle Daddy's kind of like, let her stay around, she'd be okay, and Bryce quits. So but we see like Uncle Daddy's kind of like fighting for Brenda. And then, Toby's just there,
Seething.
Toby is
Not
pissed.
happy.
So I mean, like,
I wouldn't either.
I mean, tell us, because she's checking on your boo.
Yeah, and Toby's not okay with that. Y'all will see more of what happens with that little situation later in the season. But no, Toby is not having it.
I want to see him bring his crazy side out.
Yeah.
I want to see.
Burn some up.
I want to see Toby
Just
get back
wait.
on that
I
motorcycle.
was just gonna say that. Well, you
Drive
got a
on.
motorcycle.
But I said this was Toby's season though. Like he from the beginning, I'm like, okay, he talking more, he doing all that. He get ready to stir up the pot. Or something.
Are you gonna do a drive-by on her?
I
have
can't
to
give
pop up
anything
on
away,
it.
but Toby is not happy this season and is really angry and is really hurt, especially about Brenda moving in on Uncle Daddy, but about he's really sort of freaking out about what you guys saw in the first episode of the season. So all of that starts to weigh on him towards the end of the season. But Toby's definitely stepped it up.
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
I'm
Careful,
scared of
Toby.
Toby. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, okay, because he can do both.
You
can play
didn't see it
cool.
coming either.
Yeah,
I
he's just
loved
so
that
slick.
though. The producers told me at the end of the last season they're thinking about having that be what was going to happen. I was like, please, I love whenever
bet you were so
when a
excited.
character does an unexpected
Yeah.
thing like that. It's so fun to play.
Because you really was the scene you were talking to Virginia. You were being nice to somebody, but you were really like setting them up behind their back. It was like on
No,
this,
he was being he was being nice to Virginia at the shop, knowing that he shot her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think you're doing
because
some
I
shady.
was feeling a little guilty
But it
about
also
it.
wasn't meant for Virginia, too.
No,
right?
it was meant for Desna.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Virginia dived in. But yeah, I think what you're talking about is in the first episode of the season, he's talking to Roller, trying to convince him that Clint was the one who tried to kill
yeah.
Desna.
See?
And he's lying through his
that's
dainty.
right.
We knew he was lying though.
See,
That's why I was scared.
I didn't know that was
Right.
guilt. I thought that was me covering my butt, like you covering your butt. I didn't know you felt guilty, but then I realized she
with
wasn't the
Virginia,
target.
yeah.
She wasn't the target.
Yeah.
Because I think Toby, your character, likes Virginia. I think
We're
everyone-
friends. Yeah, Toby and Virginia worked at the strip club together.
Yeah.
So in our backstory.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna see more of that. I'm ready because I mean, like I said, you kind of warmed us up, so I'm like, oh crap,
yeah.
he finna come out, and Uncle Daddy just crazy too, so it's just gonna be. And then our last lovers quarrel. So of course we gotta throw in Polly and Joe. Oh my goodness, I don't know. I'm still on eggshells about this relationship. Like,
I'm so iffy about them.
yeah, I do. I mean, like, is it? I feel like he likes her, but then I'm like, is he just playing Mac and Melba's team? Is he on Polly's side? Like,
Right.
what is it?
I don't know. I can't give anything away, but I think Polly's just like, he's very attractive, so maybe that's got something to do with Polly's
He's
draw.
better than
He
Ken.
is.
Better
Those
than
eyes, that
Ken.
beard.
The beard is what does
The
it.
beard.
And okay, so what do you guys think? Do you think? I mean, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but I mean, okay, I want to make a point. Joe did say, I want to see the real Polly. Give me the real you. So she kind of let her guard down and was like, hey, I feel like myself with you. We just vibe. So it's kind of like, okay, she let her guard down. She let him in. Is he really going to accept it, or is this a game? Like, what do you think, Angel? Is it a game?
I think it's for sure a game because he's definitely in Team Mac and Melba. That's like who he started with. But I think maybe he does have feelings for Polly. But I also think it's hilarious not hilarious because 2 people died, but but like when Polly questioned him about it and he was like, oh, she was depressed. And she was like, was Penelope depressed too? And he's like,
That's the best part about Claws, whenever it's like really dramatic scenes,
then
but
it's
they can like make
silly.
it funny.
Like,
It's
what?
like,
Like, what I laugh for?
And I feel like no one does that better than Carrie Preston, who plays Polly.
Yeah,
she's
she's
so funny.
When she came in dressed like a golden girl, and it was so funny because I was literally watching Golden Girls this morning, and she was dressed like she had her like jogging suit on with the walker. Yes. I was like, what is wrong with her?
She's
What
great.
about you, Tyra?
I think we need to watch out for him. I think his motives are not genuine. I don't know. Because, I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's not like Mac and Melba have done anything to, you know, make him angry or upset, right? So I just feel like, you know, he's just playing the games. Like, he knows where his loyalty lies, but maybe he's feeling a little bit, but it's kind of just bringing him back. Like, no, like, I have to get a job done. These are my people. Like, I just met you, you know. I don't know. But I love them together. I think they click. Like, I think they both have some kind of craziness going on with them. So it's like they just get along, but I think he's just still team Mac and Melba until he dies.
Y'all
don't
miss
trust him.
the Dr. Ken Polly relationship?
I wanted them to get back together.
Honestly,
a little bit.
too much.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
he was driving me away.
But it was funny though. I mean, he was definitely needy and clingy and desperate, but that's what made it like funny. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
She had to
Someone
cut
whip
him
her
off.
into shape.
And I think that's why she loves Joe so much because
He challenges her.
Yeah, that's what she needs.
She walked over Dr. Ken, so it's kind of like,
100%,
okay.
yeah.
And he's just so, will you be my wife already?
Right.
Like, so,
And trying to make her mad last episode with the girl, like,
In the casino. I think in real life, no, but for Claus, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
of course, that's funny.
So I like Dr. Ken.
What team are you on? You're Mac and Melba, or you think Joe is just in for Polly?
At first, I just thought, okay, Joe is Team Mac and Melba. Of course, those are his employers. And then Polly, he did genuinely fall for Polly, and that was making him soften up and move over to the other side. But for seeing what he did at the end of this episode, I honestly think that he's Team Joe. He does whatever he wants because he didn't kill Yolanda for Mac and Melba. He killed for himself to protect himself because she was trying to muscle in on the exploitation.
Oh, so you know?
that's
So
true.
wait, you know he killed her?
She's depressed. You know, she got
I feel like that was a
in
confession.
the door frame. You know,
it's definitely a confession.
That whole little scene, I was like, oh, is he trying to go along with it? Like, but
And
that's why she was like, am I next?
No, right? Because he asked her in the beginning of the episode, "Show me the real you," and then we see that he showed her the real him. He's just a murderer.
so do you think?
Cold-blooded.
Exactly.
So rude.
But do you think that kind of Polly put herself confronts you by saying, "Are you gonna do that to me? Like I know what you did."
I think she did.
I was nervous for that.
When she said that, I was the same way. Like, dang,
You
you
have
didn't
not-
really let your guard down. Like, you know, you
Yeah.
had him wrapped. Well, probably not wrapped around a finger, but
And
still,
then that-
like,
yeah.
In a good place.
But that I think I said I was like, okay, he
Confessing
finally
that.
sees the real Polly. Like, she really went into like vulnerable Polly mode. Like,
I
am
would
I
have been
next?
shook
You know?
too.
I don't think she should trust him. Not just
Nah, if your man
I
killing
don't know.
people.
I don't know, but I feel like
Yeah, like probably not.
But I feel like she'll get it. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think
Yeah.
she's gonna get it together. Like, she probably just had that one moment, but I think, you know, she's gonna be like, okay, girl, I know who I am. Let me put on Crazy Polly. Which character you want me to be? Because
It's
we
true.
can really put this
Yeah,
down.
And, like,
I feel like
Polly-
we have no idea what she's even capable of, and we've seen so much already.
Exactly, yeah. What I do think was weird how they threw that in there, Alondra. So she's the ex-accountant that she was messing with Joe. So it's kind of like, does Joe have a thing for Cole? I'm just scared because now I'm just trying to put too much together. So it's like, was he dating Penelope? Or I don't know, was he dating Alondra? And now is he dating Polly? Is he like...
Oh, like if
Maybe
it's like
he
a
just
fatal
thought she was
attraction,
fine.
like everybody he
thinking
gets
too
next
deep
to.
into it. Is it fatal attraction or...
I don't know.
I don't know. I just think that he doesn't want to hurt Polly, but if it comes down to it, because remember, Polly's initial job was to just watch Joe.
Right.
And she obviously doesn't know what her
Getting a
job
little
is.
too
Maybe it just
close.
reminded her, this is what your job is, honey. Like, focus. The penis ain't always what the priority is.
Yeah.
Hello.
And maybe it should show her, like, okay, I need to remember my loyalty is with Desna, because clearly his loyalty still lies with Mac and Melba. So, like you said, it could be just like a wake-up call. Like, okay, get back to it.
Get back on it.
Yes. So now we're gonna just have some questions for you today.
Sure,
Just gonna
yeah.
make it fun. So I'm actually gonna get on our live and see if our fans have anything for you. But I also want to say, we have our normal special segment of Nailed It, right? So, Angel, I wanted you to start it off, but we're going to ask you what's your favorite Nailed It moment for the entire season. So, like, who you think nailed it fashion-wise, relationship-wise, anything that they just killed
Acting.
it. Yeah, whatever it may be.
From the current season right now?
Yeah, this season, yeah.
Okay, let me think. I will say, I think that I think that Niecey nailed the scene when she confronted her dad at the construction site. The surprise in her eyes whenever she realized that he was actually going to push her away again was incredible to me. So I think that she nailed that moment.
Yes,
That's
good
a good
answer.
moment.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Tyra? What's your nailed it?
My nailed it. Oh my God.
I know, this is
It's
hard.
like a lot that happened.
Or this episode?
Okay, I'll just say Virginia. I haven't talked about Virginia in a while. I think she's nailing it. You know, she's finally becoming one with herself, with her new eye, and I love how she's using it for good. Like, you know, they have this whole little like intervention space, and she's helping people become their better selves while helping her friends. You know, she is the reason why Brenda and Jen kind of rekindled their relationship. True. So I'm here for Virginia right now. She's finding where she fits in, because I feel like throughout the season she's always kind of like, how can I fit into this group that they already have? So maybe she's finally found it. Hopefully the eye stays. But
I actually was gonna say Virginia too, but not so much because of her character on the show, but just because of her like in real life. I think like she's doing an amazing job like actually making Virginia funny. Like the show itself, like the show itself is hilarious. But even like in the scene tonight where Dean's like walking off to go back to the casino, and she's like crying, but she's like blowing her bubble gum at the same time and like telling the car behind her, "You shut up!" Like, I mean, it's just so funny. And we've talked about how like in moments when it's supposed to be serious, like the guy you love is leaving you, like he's not showing you any affection, and you're crying and like blowing bubble gum, and it's just so ridiculous. So to like see, you know, we know her from her personal life, but now she's come onto this show and she's actually holding her own and is actually like funny. Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Karrueche's really impressing people with this character, and she's like she's really coming into her own as an actor.
Yeah.
It's so fun to work with her.
I even love how like how celebrities are just us saying, "Where's Virginia?" Like on her social media, we're like, "We love this Virginia." Not Karrueche, I love Virginia.
Like, cause like I said,
even Victor was like, "I love my Virginia."
So many people know her from the personal life and from the gossip, and it's like, okay, no, this is what she's doing now, and take her seriously.
Please take her seriously, because she's killing Virginia.
She's killing it for sure.
Hey, what about you, Daisy?
I would say, who nailed it for me this episode? I'll say Kelvin nailed it for me this episode, because I was just so hurt by how he treated Desna at that moment. So disappointed in how he did it. And, you know, he came around. Like, he knew when coming to the shop, he's going to have to face the wrath. Like, Desna's going to be upset. Not just because of his absence in life, but, like, how she treated him in the first reunion. And he stuck to it. Then, of course, like we said, to come back after that whole drug fiasco and be like, listen, I'm really trying to be in your lives. So I need y'all to believe me. Like, that's effort. That's work.
That takes guts, for sure.
It took guts for sure. Because, I mean, automatically you think he's back on the thing again. So
we definitely didn't expect that. No, because in the beginning we did see, you know, he kind of brushed her off at the job, but he actually came back, and I was like, oh, okay, Daddy, you serious? So okay, Daddy. Okay, Daddy. Daddy was a wrong. I hate you guys. I'm actually gonna have to kind of switch it up. And not that I love them, I just think they literally nailed it. But I gotta give it to Mac, because he got them every time. Like, he got one up with Dean towards Desna, and then got the daddy involved. He just got an episode. This is the first episode he's on, and you already done wound him up. So I gotta give it to Mac. Like,
Mac's killing it.
And I think it got Desna shook. She done pulled out the Glock at the end of the episode. So
I love how it ended in that shot with her close up right there. She's like, yeah.
So it's kind of like, is it going to? I mean, okay, I don't think she can just post up like Roller said. You can't just post up, but it's like, I don't know who's going to win this battle.
But we've been saying she's in over her head.
Well, yeah. Do you think she's in over her head?
I think she's been in over her head since the first episode of the series.
You agree with us?
Yeah. Okay. Oh goodness. So we do have someone also mentioned that we have Carmen S. I'm sorry. She want to mention the pregnancy. So yeah, good point. Quiet and.
That was a lot happened this episode.
Yeah, it was a lot. Sorry. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you for that. So Carmen, you said he got pregnant. Quiet got pregnant. But is it by the person from the
guy from that mask?
I feel it has to be.
Yeah, we haven't seen her with anyone else.
She only swing one way.
So I don't know how this is gonna air it out because I mean we kind of got a snippet of it, but I don't know. This is weird because I mean I don't know how it's gonna play out.
Because she was like, you know, kind of what was she off of Molly when it happened? So it's just like, did she remember who the person was? You know what?
I actually think it might work out perfectly because she told her girlfriend, and I'm so sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the name, the cop girlfriend. Yeah. She told her, like, she was honest about it. I slept with the guy, Arlene, and they kind of laughed about it. You know, she was like, I was under the influence, this happened, and she was honest as soon as it happened. And they also wanted a child. They had gone to the adoption agency, but they got passed up because they weren't in a relationship. So now you're pregnant. You and Arlene back on Good Talking. Boom. You got your baby. You don't even have to pay for it.
Right? God said.
But look, baby daddy drama gonna come. It's gonna be another EJ because he probably gonna come back like, I heard I got a baby. I don't know.
I don't know if we'll ever see him again, but
Probably
we'll see.
not.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Well, is there any? We want to ask you questions before we wrap this up. So, do you guys have any questions you want to start with?
Yeah, I do. I had a few questions written down, but I think I'm gonna start. I really had like 3, but I know all of us. So tonight was like Niecey Nash's directorial debut. Are you looking to do any directing, or have you like done anything on Claws?
I like directed a couple of short films in college and stuff, and that's definitely something that I want to look towards further along in my career. But right now, I'm just like really loving acting, and I'm really loving like as an actor, I really like to pay attention to the directors, and we work with a different director for almost every single episode, and so everyone brings like their own point of view to it and their own way of working. And so just like absorbing all of that and one day maybe like taking all of that and putting it into my own project would be great. But getting to work in Niecey Nash's directorial debut was like it's like a highlight of my career, and my career just started. Like it was so incredible. And she was one of the like objectively one of the best directors that we've had in the entire series.
Wow.
The first director to play music in between setups and everything. And we were like, why don't we always do this? So it was great.
Yeah. Speaking of that, like working with people like Niecey Nash and just all of these people who've been in it for a while, how do you think you've evolved as an actor, just being surrounded by these people and with this particular show and cast?
I've definitely gotten just like so much better as an actor being surrounded by and like working with actors that are just so incredibly good. I can't believe how lucky I am to get to work on like an ensemble show with a bunch of adult actors who are so experienced and just so talented. It just made me really like I was nervous at first, but they're all so nice and so welcoming and warm that it really just made me feel like part of the crew, and I've just been getting brought back more and more ever since I started, and so it just makes me feel like confident that like this show like trusts me to work with such talented people. It's awesome.
Yeah, and now we see the character evolving. So I love it.
It's Toby back.
So my question is, with inclusion and representation being like a slow but steady progression in Hollywood, how do you feel that your role as Toby has been received? Like, have you received a lot of love, a lot of messages from your role?
It's been nothing but love, which has been great. I'm a member of the LGBTQ community, and so to be able to be an openly queer actor playing a queer character on TV right now where we are in history as far as inclusion and representation, where minorities are concerned, I think that that's like really important. And so it was really awesome to work with our creator Elliot Lawrence, who's an openly gay writer, to like really go past the stereotypical tropes that we would usually see with gay characters, and like we wanted to fit it into the weird world that is Claws, but also like give a voice to like gender identity and gender nonconformity, which is something that him and I like really are really like think hasn't been necessarily accurately represented in media, and it's something that we both agree that is like the next wave of where we're going with the future. So it's been really interesting to like get to contemplate these like sort of like socio-political concepts through like playing a character on TV.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
I want to end it on a little fun note. So we love Toby. We love him, okay? But can we expect to see Evan anywhere else on the big screen?
I wish someone hired me.
Okay, you heard it first time, okay?
Right? I am very available.
What would be your dream role? Like, just like, I would just love to play that role.
I have a dream theater role. Like I want to play Hamlet on Broadway.
Oh, that's a good one.
But my dream like TV project would just to be #1 on the call sheet of a TV series and have to be at work every day, all day. That's like my dream.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And we hope that for you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's coming.
Thank you.
It's
We should
coming.
hear it. We want to put positive energy out there.
Manifestation
Put it out
energy.
there.
Let's do
That's
it.
our predictions. That's our
Yes.
predictions.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. He's
Thank you for
always here
having
every
me.
season, so we just love this space. And thank you for coming out every time.
Of
And I'm
course.
sure our fans enjoyed you. So until next week, I'm your host, Sierra Stafford. You can find me on my social media at Sierra Stafford TV. Where can they find you, Adaeze?
You can find me on Instagram at Adaeze. That's 1ADAEZE. Why you always laugh at me?
I'm Angel. You can find me on Instagram at Angel Saunders.
And I'm Tyra. You can find me on all social media platforms at _Tyra Prude.
And Evan, where can we find you?
I'm Evan Daigle, and you can find me on Instagram at Evan Daigle and on Twitter at Evan Daigle1.
Yes, go
Yeah.
follow us.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.